Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. This is the third webinar in the Collaborate 17 trade show series, and this one is on exhibitor marketing strategies. My name is Marcy Nessing, and I'm with the OAUG, and this presentation was prepared by IUG, OAUG, and Quest. Okay, so out of the interest of time, we're going to go ahead and get started and right into the agenda. Today we'll go over some general information, some planning for on-site at Collaborate, some social media strategies, inbound marketing tactics, and some strategies and quick tips for your best show performance at Collaborate 2017. A few housekeeping items for today. All attendees will be on mute throughout the presentation. If you do have any technical issues or questions, please make sure just to type those in the Q&A box in the control panel, and I'll do my best to get to those. We'll, of course, answer questions if you have any at the end of the webinar. And this will be recorded, and it will be available on each group's conference website as soon as we're able to get those posted. For the new folks, new exhibitors to Collaborate 17, I just want to give you a heads up. There are 3 groups that come together to put on Collaborate each year. We have the IOUG, which is represented by my counterpart, Kate Hunter. So I'm sure some of you have been working with her for the last couple months. Myself and my counterpart, Christine Hilbert, run the trade show for OAUG. And over at Quest, it's Julie Lewis. So these are your main points of contact for all 3 user groups, but we're certainly able to help you. Any of us will be able to help if you have any questions or need specific information. The full conference schedule and individual user group information can be found on each one of the group's websites. Those are all listed here. So if you're looking for specific user group information, you just want to make sure that you do go to each group's website to get that specific party information, or if there is a workshop that you're attending through a specific group. All other session information will be found on the agenda builder, and that's collaborative. So just make sure you look through there. Of course, as you all know, the conference is coming up pretty quick. It's April 2nd through the 6th. And this, of course, is going to be at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Specific exhibitor showcase dates are actually April 3rd through the 5th, which is Monday through Wednesday. Okay, so on to some general Collaborate information. For those of you that have attended Collaborate in the past, you are probably quite familiar with Mandalay Bay. The exhibit hall is actually shifting a little bit this year. We are going to be in Bayside B and Bayside C this year. So instead of going all the way down the foyer into Bayside C like we did last year, we're just going to hang a right, and the main entrance will actually be into Bayside B for this year. Registration will be in the Bayside foyer, so this is a great location for the exhibit hall. We'll have lots of good traffic coming in there. As a reminder for the showcase schedule, move-in will begin on Sunday, April 2nd from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. and then you'll have some more time on Monday to finish up between 8:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Just a friendly reminder, all exhibits must be fully installed by Monday, April 3rd at 2 p.m. This will give our cleaning crews time to come in and make sure the hall is 100% prepped and ready to go. After the show has concluded, move-out will begin promptly at 4:15 on Wednesday, April 5th. You'll have from 4:15 to 8 p.m. to move out on Wednesday, and then again a few hours on Thursday morning, April 6th, from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. As a reminder, the exhibitor showcase hours are as follows. Monday, April 3rd, we will open in the evening from 5:15 to 8 p.m. with a welcome reception. Tuesday, April 4th, will be open from 9:30 a.m. until 4:15 p.m. We'll close for about an hour and then reopen at 5:15 to 7 for another reception. And then on Wednesday, we'll be open all day from about 10:45 a.m. to 4:15 p.m. There are a couple key items we want to make sure that you have on your calendars and have your teams prepped for. The welcome reception on Monday evening is the first of those. Again, starts at 5:15, and want to make sure that you guys are ready to go at 5:15 or beforehand. The attendees are super excited to come into the hall. They know there's lots of giveaways and lots of energies and activity going on. So it's really critical to have your team ready to go right when those doors open at 5:15, because there is a rush of people that do come in right at that very moment. On Tuesday, same thing. We have dedicated hours in the hall between noon and 1:30. So there's no other session content going on at that particular time. And then we also have a happy hour from 5:15 to 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Wednesday, the dedicated hours are again from noon to 1:30. So and we're going to go into it a little bit more on the next slide. But during those lunchtime, we want to make sure we encourage you to have your staff there and ready to go during those lunchtime hours. We do generate a lot of traffic with lunch into the hall, so if you can plan a little extra time to have your staff eat earlier or maybe a little bit later, just make sure that your booths are fully staffed so that the attendees can come by and visit you during these lunch hours. A couple things to avoid in your planning process for Collaborate 17. I especially am a fan of balloons, but we are not able to permit helium in the exhibit hall. The balloons have a tendency to go up and can get caught in exhaust systems, and the last thing we want to do is get a rig out to get that balloon down during the middle of the show. So please leave your balloons at home. Any outside food or beverage, including alcohol, is not allowed to be distributed on Mandalay property without prior approval. So if you do have any plans in the works to bring in food, just be sure you notify myself, Kate, or Julie of those requests, and we can work with you to make sure we're all in agreement there. It goes against a little bit of the collaboration that's in our title, but we do not encourage you to borrow any electricity or internet capabilities from your neighbors. If you need that, please be sure to look at the exhibitor kit and order all of your internet and electricity needs. All of our providers, our specific third-party vendors that we are working with for Collaborate, all of their order forms can be found in the Freeman Exhibitor Kit, which is posted to all 3 of our user group websites. And the online Freeman Kit is also available there too. So please take a look at that document and make sure you've got all of your necessary items ordered for the show. For anybody that has a bag drop, that purchased a bag drop sponsorship that goes into the Collaborate backpacks, you just want to make sure that you guys are reminded that this is an exclusive sponsorship, or we have some exclusive sponsorships. So if you do have a bag drop, please make sure that's not a notebook, not a pen, a backpack, or a water bottle. Those things have all been sold, so we just want to make sure that those sponsors do get their exclusive sponsorship opportunity. Okay, so going into planning for your on-site experience. Want everybody to keep in mind when you're going through the planning process to think about who's attending. At Collaborate, we'll have thousands of potential buyers. Your company's best people and products will be showcased. Your competitors' best people and products will be showcased. And many of your existing customers will be there. So this is a great and unique opportunity to interact with each of these groups. So we want to make sure that your messaging is on point and your plan is in place for communicating with these individual groups. One of the things that we like to give out is just a tip from an industry leader. And you could read the quote here, but her main goal is to let you guys to know that setting goals is a huge aspect of your exhibit hall experience. A lot of folks say they want to pick up some leads at a show. That's great and fantastic, but it needs to be a little bit more quantifiable than just leads. How many leads do you want to get? How many demos will it take to generate those leads? How many sales will the demos close? So a great quantifiable goal might be something more along the lines of, we want to pick up 100 leads, which will generate 50 demos, leading to 10 sales with a combined value of $5 million within 6 months of the show. So just in thinking about planning, you want to make sure that your goals are related, have related objectives, and that they should be valuable and easy to track. The best way to kind of go about doing this is to make sure your goals are all SMART, and each one should be specific. It should be measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So just remember the word SMART when you are planning your specific goals for Collaborate 17 and any other trade show that you participate in. A plan is a great way to go into Collaborate. You want to make sure it utilizes a mix of promotional methods to reach different sets of prospects. You can group this into 3 different sections: pre-show marketing, at-show marketing, and post-show marketing. We all know after a long day of standing on our feet and interacting with a bunch of people, sometimes your key points in messaging get a little convoluted. So you want to make sure you and your sales teams and the folks that are going to be in the booth have rehearsed your elevator speech and made sure that you can say this backwards, forward, and confidently at any point of the day, just to make sure you're maximizing the effectiveness of the people in your booth. You'll also want to make sure to determine any literature and marketing materials that you'll need at the show, and make sure you've got something designed and printed and ready to be shipped out after a long day of talking to people. Sometimes those pieces of literature can help reference all of the different points and opportunities that your company provides. So also a couple things that you should have in place by now if you have not already. You want to make sure, back to the goals, you're going to set some specific objectives for the show, whether that be the number of product sales, leads generated, new contacts, things of that nature. You'll want to make sure you've ordered any giveaway or promotional items. You've worked with your exhibitor appointed contractor or other design firms or freemen to make sure your exhibitor design, layout, and graphics are all ordered and that they'll be delivered on time for Collaborate. You want to make sure you have your staffing requirements. If you need to come up with a booth schedule or plan training sessions with your team, if you have some new people that aren't familiar with new product lines that you have, you want to make sure you do set up some time to talk with all the people that are going to be on site, so they do have that key messaging down, that elevator pitch, and they know when they need to be at the booth and when they are free to go have lunch. You want to make sure that you've made arrangements for your the transportation of your display and any items to the show, and of course to launch those pre-show marketing initiatives that you've worked on. And coming up close on the show, there's a couple things that you want to keep on your radar. We know everybody's busy leading up to the show, but one of the best things to do is to make sure your follow-up packets are ready to go and that they're ready to be distributed right after the show when you've collected your leads. It's not so much fun to come back from a show and try to gather all of that information. So if you can put that on your radar now, that's awesome. You want to continue with your pre-show marketing activities. Again, schedule staff training and make sure everyone's on the same page with your tasks and your goals. And you want to finalize, again, the production of your booth display, making sure all of that is ready to go for you on site. And then just a helpful reminder, if you have any dinners or meetings or client dinners or anything along those lines, it's good to keep those in mind and get some reservations nailed down, especially if you're wanting to have a reservation within Mandalay Bay. So get those reservations made as soon as possible. And again, 1 week before the show, just make sure your staff are fully trained. They know what's going on. They know the demos that you're going to be running and the schedule for those demos. And lastly, and just super important just to make sure you confirmed your shipping and arrival dates for your display or any of your promotional materials. And as soon as you've gotten home, gotten a few minutes to relax, you just want to follow up with the folks that you met at the show, analyze the leads. You want to send out those follow-up packets that hopefully you're going to be doing in the next couple weeks, and make sure you do have the appropriate contacts for the folks that you met on site. And then when you can find the time, you just want to evaluate the success of your trade show compared with your plan. So for next year or future conferences, you can make tweaks and you have those right away. As far as social media goes, we all know it is a huge piece of our marketing efforts. One of the first things we want to just briefly touch on is the Collaborate mobile app. There's two different types of listings. We have a basic listing that comes with most exhibitor packages. Then we also have the choice to upgrade that listing to the Gold mobile app upgrade. This mobile app upgrade, and I can show you the difference between these in just a second, but the primary differences are this upgrade includes the opportunity for logos, an unlimited word company description, links to social media, any kind of articles that you have. And one of the great things about the upgrade that it's not listed here, but you do have the ability, if somebody chooses to when they're looking through the agenda in advance, they are able to add exhibitors to their agenda. So if I were to add company A to my agenda, that company A would get a notification saying Marcy Nessing is a new lead for you. So that's one of the great things about the mobile app that is included in the upgrade. So like I just mentioned, the upgraded listing includes a logo. You can add links to your social media pages, articles, photos, etc. So it's just an expanded version of what attendees will be able to see. This is the information that's included in the basic company listing. So if you have not provided this information via the link and form here, please do reach out to your contact and let us know. We'll make sure that we give you this link, then you can fill it out, and we'll make sure your information is updated on the app. Okay, as far as building some buzz with social media before the show, it's really important to use those tools to drive traffic to your booth, but knowing what customers and prospects would like to learn about during the show is an even more important aid. So we encourage you to use your social media links, your company blogs, Facebook, LinkedIn, to ask people what they want to learn about at the show. And then you have some concrete information to talk to all attendees about, because if some people are asking, I'm sure there's a lot of other folks in the environment that are looking for those same answers too. So that's a great way to get those the conversations going in the booth. 76% of trade show attendees go there with an agenda in mind, and they're going there to find out some answers to those questions. So if you can get ahead of the game and figure out what questions they're looking for via social media, that will be one step ahead of your competitors. As far as some social media tips go, the Collaborate logo, you're welcome to use that however you would like on any of your email headers or email signatures, email headers, anything along those lines. Our exhibitor kit is listed on all of the individual group websites, so you want to make sure you download that and use that. There's tweets in there. There's all sorts of information that will be helpful for you to utilize just as it is, or for you to amend to your conference messaging. So please be sure to check that out. And of course, when you are posting, it would be very helpful to the conference and all of the exhibitors and attendees combined if you do use the hashtag CLV17, so your followers can track the updates with Collaborate in general. When you are making these posts, it's a great idea to include your booth number or your session ID number. So when they are searching through the mobile app, they can easily identify you. And always, YouTube is a great and cheap way for your followers and potential leads to have a visual of who you are. You could record videos at the show of either your sessions or on-site in the booth, and you can use those to keep the marketing efforts going throughout the course of the year, not just right after the conference. Just a couple other things to remember. If you're, we've all been attendees in a big trade show, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming. So if you can hook people with a display that's something unique, funny, or interesting, just something to catch their eye when they walk by, that will make the difference. And if you're providing a giveaway, just make sure it's rememberable and it's something that folks want to take back to their office and keep on their desk for a longer period of time and reference it. So think critically when you're making the investment in giveaways. And while we encourage you to be unique and funny and interesting, just make sure that all of your exhibitor booth bills comply with the regulations outlined in the exhibitor kit. And then just a couple other things to think about when you're engaging with folks. If you are doing pictures or anything, just make sure there's a way to connect with them after the show. So if you do tweet pictures, try to get their Twitter account and thank them for stopping by your booth, and of course include that number. The more people that see that photo, the more people that will potentially want to stop by your booth. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, those videos that you shot at of the presentations, demos, product launches, you can put those on YouTube and share them on your website, LinkedIn profile, and Facebook, just to keep the messaging going for you throughout the course of the year. You'll want to make sure you do a specific dedicated email blast to the folks that actually indicated some real interest in attending the show but couldn't attend for one reason or another. You want to provide post-show incentives to get your Twitter followers and Facebook fans to recommend you to their colleagues and join the social networks that you maintain. And study your successes and your failures at the show from the inbound marketing campaign you created. That's the best way to move forward and make some good decisions in the future, is to analyze what worked and what didn't work so well. Okay, as far as some inbound marketing goes, the exhibits and events industry is a big business. It's about a $100 million industry. There's nearly 13,000 trade shows that are produced domestically and 20,000 that are held internationally. And these provide a really unique and invaluable platform for industries to come together and for people of a like mind to do business together. So we want to make sure that you're giving the people what they want to hear. From the customer's perspective, they're seeking information at a trade show. That's why they attend these 13,000 trade shows annually. The information, they're looking for information they need to have enough confidence in doing business with your company. They want to understand how your products work and how you can help them achieve their own goals. And they want reference points from existing customers who can provide testaments to your trustworthiness. If we hear anything from all the survey data, if you can provide examples of how you worked with another customer to solve a problem, whether it be, saving them time, money, energy, stress, a case study of sorts, people love to hear those types of things. So if you can incorporate that into the messaging that you're providing in your booth, you'll have a pretty successful show. This inbound marketing methodology, the approach is focused on attracting customers through content interactions that are relevant and helpful to them. So going back to soliciting information on Facebook, looking for what they want to hear, it would be a great value add for you guys to be able to have that information. It's creating content and sharing content with the people who need it most. So these people are, they are the people that need your help. So you have them right in front of you, and so you want to make sure you can get them engaged in conversations. And by creating content specifically designed to appeal to your customer, your dream customers, this inbound attracts qualified prospects to your business and keeps them coming back for more. By publishing that right content in the right place at the right time, your marketing becomes relevant and helpful to your customers, not interruptive. So just another little reminder, you've got competitors all around you, potentially even right across the hall from you and within the exhibit hall. So in order to get the biggest bang from your marketing back, you do have to drive all traffic to your booth through any kind of messaging and marketing campaigns that you can. This will help you capture the top quality leads through these inbound marketing channels. You also want to solidify the connection from your real-world presence to your online marketing channels. This will ensure you create a buzz leading up to the events. It maximizes the traffic to your booth while you're on site, and then it keeps this relationship going as the event kind of trickles away in people's minds. Okay. And lastly, we've got a couple strategies and best practices for you all to share with your coworkers. A good reminder is CASE. If you could think of this word, it will help you to have a successful booth experience. So the C is compare. They're there at the show, at Collaborate, to compare and evaluate products and services. So again, going back to that elevator pitch, you want to make sure your folks know exactly keywords to listen for after they've given that speech. If they're looking for what stage of the pipeline are they in, so they can communicate the most effective information, and that these people have the right information. So when they're speaking to several different booths in your industry, they can compare and evaluate how you stand above the other groups. You want to ask the visitors what they're looking for. Again, if I'm not in the buying stage, but somebody gives me a spiel about something that's way too advanced for me in my stage of an implementation, that's not going to be helpful for me. So, but I might, be interested in learning more and be able to take that back to my coworkers. So it's a great idea to remember to ask them what they're looking for when somebody comes into your booth. Again, the elevator speech is super important, but you want to be able to summarize your products and benefits in a very clear and concise manner. And then you want to make sure you're engaging. Give them a reason to continue this relationship with you and your organization. And as far as engaging goes, we've all seen different kinds of folks come into their booths. For people who come right in and say hello, you want to get right to business. They know what they're looking for and they know what they want to talk about, so just get right to it. For visitors who pause with some interest, again, asking them what issues they came to learn about is a great opening. And then for visitors who express little interest, it's always a good idea to try just a quick social opener. How's the show going for you? Have you met lots of folks? Where are you from? Things like that, just to get them talking. And then you never know, they might be a very good candidate for you. And excuse me. A few commandments for a successful booth. We'll run through these really quickly. Most of these we learned in elementary school, but it's always a good reminder. With the advent of social media, one person's disgruntled voice can go pretty far with social media. So just be sure you are nice to everybody, and that during downtimes you're not talking about competitors or things like that. You want to make sure you're audacious and memorable, but smart and relevant. You don't have to go completely over the top to get people's attention. Your key messaging and a clear, concise elevator pitch will do that for you. While mermaids are cool, they're not gonna get you the sales. You want to be assertive and talk to everybody, and have your entire staff do the same. If you can avoid it when there's main traffic coming into the hall, don't sit down. You want to be approachable and have people willing to come easily talk to you. You try your best not to leave food and drinks around the booth. I know that's challenging when you have people eating at different times, but as far as a clean booth presence, it's nice to be able to keep those in the trash or tucked away when you're done with your food and drink. When you speak, don't pitch your stuff. You want to grow the industry. You want to spread the good word about what you're doing. If your content and research is really good, people will flock to it. We all know this, but respond as fast as you can to all requests. Set appointments right after the show, and make sure you do have that best contact information. The app will help you do that, and scanning, making sure you've got enough lead scanners on site to collect all of those leads. Those, again, can be ordered through the Exhibitor kit, but you want to make sure you do have those leads to collect. And they do have the capability to put notes in there. I know it's challenging to talk to somebody and take notes at the same time, but that will help you keep a reminder of who you talked to and what exactly their needs were when you're following up. And that kind of goes into this last point. Every rep should be typing or scanning business cards or contacts at the show. You just want to make sure that you have the best information for them and the relevant information that the specific questions they're looking for. And then set appointments during your show so you're on your prospect's calendar. So if you do have that upgraded app functionality, make sure you do reach out to the people that have added you to their agenda to see if there's a specific time for you or one of your colleagues to meet with them while they're on site. And lastly, just a few sponsorship opportunities if you're looking to get some messaging out still. As far as IOUG goes, there's the grab and go that's still available. This is a pretty cool opportunity, actually, especially for the opening of the exhibit hall. We provide the staffing to hand out to the first about 1,000 attendees who walk into the hall. We've done hats in the past, different kinds of cups and things like that. So definitely reach out if you have any interest in that grab and go. It is a pretty cool opportunity to get your product in the hands of about 1,000 people pretty quickly. And then also the Wednesday night party sponsor, if you're looking to sponsor the closing party. This can be a designated area or a lounge at the party. So Jim Conlon is the sales contact over at IOUG. So here's his information. So if you have any questions about the grab and go or the Wednesday night party sponsor, please be sure to reach out to him. As far as the OAUG goes, we have a couple vendor awareness sessions left. This is a 60-minute session in a meeting room that's integrated into the educational session rooms. So it's an opportunity for you to provide information on a case study or best practices, tips and tricks of anything along those lines to get your messaging out. It is a vendor awareness session, so you can, pitch your products and services in there, and the education teams will not come down on you for that. So that's the point of these particular sessions. If you have any questions about that, you can, of course, contact myself or Christine Hilger to help you get set up with a vendor awareness session on site at Collaborate 2017. And the same goes for Quest. They have some vendor sessions that are still available. So they're the same format as the OAUG ones. So please do reach out to Austin, and he can get you set up with the vendor awareness sessions through Quest specifically in the J.D. Edwards or PeopleSoft exhibit space. And that's all we have for today. So we're pretty excited about Collaborate, and we hope it's a great opportunity for you all. And let's see, I've got a couple questions here. And you guys are correct. It's C17LV. That is correct. I must have had a typo in this presentation, so the hashtag is C17LV. You guys are correct. We currently we're actually in the process of combining the attendee list today. So actually you guys will all, as registered exhibitors, in the next couple of days be getting the attendee list. So that will have all of the people that opted into the messaging system. It will not include Oracle employees, but those lists will be going out. And generally we have around 5,000 people registered for Collaborate each year. So those lists keep an eye out for those particular lists. Okay, what charges? So the charges for electricity and internet are all in that exhibitor kit, which is posted on each individual website. If you have any, Mr. Nassim, if you want to email me directly, I can send that PDF to you. Depending on your needs for how much electricity you have, how many things you've got going on your booth, and depending on the size of the booth, electricity is all dependent on that. So I can't give you an exact number of amps and wattage right now. The grab and go sponsor, I can confirm the price of that one. And the Wednesday night party sponsor, those also vary a little bit depending on what you want to do within those particular areas. So if you want to reach out to your individual group, we can communicate those party sponsors together. And we have not printed the signs for that Wednesday night party sponsorship, so your logo would still be able to be promoted there and on the website. So just depending on what you're looking to do with that party sponsorship, we can customize accordingly. Okay, so if your team gets to Vegas and they need to order anything, so as of Saturday morning will be the 1st of April, the exhibit hall, like the exhibitor center, we'll start to build that out. So on site, they will have, Freeman will be available there. Then you'll have Edlin, the electrical company, the internet company will be present, Mandalay Bay. So any of your electrical, internet, security needs, those can all be ordered on site if you need so, including the the scanners and things like that. The let's see, I just mentioned the pre-attendee list. That's going to be coming out in the next couple days. I think all three groups have it on their calendar to get it released this week. We're in the process right now of combining that registration report to be sent out to each individual group of exhibitors. Okay. See if there's anything else. We generally don't send the deck out. We post it online. But if you'd like me to send this back out to the group, I'd be happy to do that, or to you individually. You can record your presentations if you'd like to. We do not record presentations on anyone's behalf, but if you'd like to make arrangements to do that, you could let us know and we can work with you to do that. As far as if you just have a kiosk, the electricity will be there and ready for you. You do not have to order anything with just the kiosk. In order to see how many folks have registered for your presentation, I will have to get with the education team about that. In years past, people who have added it to your agenda were listed, but I do not believe the app has the capabilities of doing that this year. So for the individual who had the question about people registering for their particular session, if you want to email me individually, it's M as in Mary, and then Nessing, Nessing, at oaug.org. We'll work with you to get that specific information. And we can email the exhibitor kit as well. Is the LCD screen a part of the kiosk payment? So that's totally separate. If you have, if you're ordering a screen for your kiosk, that will need to be ordered through the Collaborate Exhibitor Kit. That is not a part of the custom kiosk package. Let's see. see if there's anything else. Okay. I think that might be it. If anybody has any other questions, we can scoot back to the beginning of the slides too. You can always reach out to myself, it's Marcy, Kate Hunter at IAUG, or Julie Lewis at Quest, your individual representative, and they'll be able to help you with anything specifically. We'll get these posted as soon as we can to the website, and in the meantime, if anybody wants the slides immediately, please just let me know and we can get them sent out, okay? All right, everybody have a great day, and thank you very much for attending.